Hi everyone, I'm here with our next shared reading. The standard for this is analyzed text elements and the skill is describe text connections. The story is called, or this passage is called A Unique Life Cycle. So the word unique means kind of like a one-of-a-kind thing. It means special, just to that thing, that creature. And the creature we're going to be talking about is a cicada. And the words down here, it might be kind of difficult to see, but in this photograph, it shows a cicada. It looks like it's molting or shedding its skin. It says this cicada is molting or shedding its skin and becoming an adult. At first, the new adult has a soft shell. After a few days, the shell hardens and turns black. So whenever you see a photograph like this, I always kind of look around and look for the words that describe the picture, and that is called a caption. Also, something to notice is these are numbered, these paragraphs, and if these numbers were gone, you would still know these are paragraphs, or there's 4 paragraphs because of the indenting. So 3rd grade, we always work on this in noticing indenting. All right, let's get started. Here's the whole entire article, and down here it's showing a life cycle, and we talked about that a little bit already in class. So it's showing the female cicada here, and she lays her eggs. There's number 1, goes to number 2, and then I look over here and it can help me. The nymphs or the baby cicadas fall to the ground. And then I go to this next picture. I'm following the arrows. And then the number 3 says nymphs burrow underground. That word is nymphs. And then over here, number 4, after 13 or 17 years, the cicadas emerge and molt. And then I'm following the arrow, and we're back here again where we have an adult cicada. They live for a short time, they reproduce, and the cycle then begins all over. So it keeps going through the same life cycle. All right, paragraph 1. Every 17 years, in the woods of western Connecticut, something strange happens. Thousands of small holes appear in the ground, and suddenly, there are cicadas everywhere. Crawling on trees and the ground, they are part of one broad or large group of cicadas that grow and emerge together. Emerge means like come out of the ground together. That's what emerge means, is like to come out. Cicadas are amazing insects. The most usual ones are found in the eastern half of the United States. They are called periodical cicadas. They spend most of their lives underground. Then, depending on the species, the cicadas emerge every 13 or 17 years. The millions of cicadas in a brood come out of the ground together. Whew, that's a lot. That's a lot of big words, isn't it, kids? So I knew how to say the word cicadas because I've heard of them before. I've watched movies about them and I've read about them before. But if you're unsure of how to say that, the problem with this word is it doesn't follow, like technically that sounds like an S, right? So you kind of have to know a little bit about these creatures to know how to say that. So luckily we're reading this and you know now that cicadas is spelled with 2 C's. Paragraph 3 says the cicada life cycle begins when a female lays her eggs. Female's a girl. She lays up to 500 eggs in the twigs of a tree. The eggs hatch into tiny, wingless nymphs and then fall to the ground. Then the nymphs burrow deep into the ground. So the word burrow means they dig down deep into the ground, or they dig these holes into the ground. And I really I can figure these words out by looking around and rereading the sentence all around it. And it kind of gives me an idea. So it says, then the nymphs, and I didn't know that word. They do something deep into the ground. Burrow must mean they dig into the ground, right? The nymphs grow slowly underground for years. Then they dig tunnels and crawl up to the surface. There, they molt and become adults with wings. So one of the words that we have here is twigs. And another word we have, maybe a vocabulary word, would be like nymphs. And then even yet another vocabulary word is the word molt. So a twig is a small, thin branch of a tree or bush, especially one removed from the tree or bush and without any leaves. So twigs don't generally have leaves. And you can see some different twigs here. Our other word was nymph, which is an immature form of an insect. Immature means not fully grown, not an adult. And there's a close-up of a nymph. And then we also have the vocabulary word molt. That means to shed old skin or a shell or feathers to grow a new one.